why would I be anything else when I could be me? No, but seriously, like, I could just do me, you know? Like, I could just live my life as me. Just whole, complete, just myself. Unabridged.
And hello, and welcome to episode 14 of Unabridged. It's April, y'all, and I am so excited. I even got a little dressed up today. You know, usually I am on here with my t-shirts and my hoodies because it is unabridged, unedited, but I really wanted to just be cute for this one. I mean, you know, maybe my fro would be a little bit different shape if it wasn't for the weather, but instead of taking it down, we just let it all out for the people who are watching right now. But yes, welcome to the show. As always, I am super excited for this week's episode because we have some amazing guests, like two of my favorite people in the world, sans my mom. Two of my favorite ladies in the world, like, are going to be on the show later. So I am super excited. I know we're also coming to you a day later than we usually do. We had some little technical difficulties, but you know, it is what it is. We are here, and we are here celebrating April. It's Aries month. It's our month. It's my month. So we're just really excited to get it started. All right. So before you get into our unabridged journey for the week, we have to do our favorite segment, your favorite segment, my favorite segment. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
That's right. Let's get right into it. So instead of doing a bunch of new topics this week, I wanted to start with some updates for April. We have covered so far in these past 13 episodes a lot of crazy, interesting, fun stories, and even some fun things with our guests. So I wanted to use this opportunity as a way to, you know, just update you guys about what the girls are up to and some of the other stories we talked about. So first things first. So on episode 9, we had an amazing young man named Andre Carroll. You guys probably remember that. That was probably one of the most viewed episodes. It was called The Audacity to Hope. Well, that man, audacity to hope all the way to becoming the presumptive nominee. So what does the word presumptive mean in this situation? So because there are no longer any other candidates on the ballot, and because there will likely not be a Republican challenger, people call that person, when the situation aligns, the presumptive winner, right? Or when a series of events happen where a candidate has a clear path, like they would literally have to just step off the ballot in order for him not to win. So that is literally where Andre is. So he is the presumptive state rep for Germantown, and that is so exciting. I'm actually going to link the Inquirer article that talked about this recently. Dre actually, you know, did some amazing work. He's still out here grinding. He's still, you know, fighting as if he has a challenger. And I think that's what you have to do when you're, you know, really new in this, as a newer elected official. You have to really set the tone for what you want your time to be like, but also how you want people to receive you. And I think that it's incredible that he's still out here working, raising some money, and giving it to the girls. So congratulations, Andre, presumptive winner. Yay! Okay. Next, so this is not really an update, but y'all remember like last episode? Oh, it probably was last episode with Dawny. Oh yes, Dawn. We love Dawn. So actually, this past Saturday, for the one of the last days of Women's History Month, Dawn hosted an incredible event that was just, I mean, it was like, I would call it black girl magic, but that term I feel like has been used in so much way that it doesn't have the like weight or depth that it used to have. Like, I don't even know, Black Landy Socery, maybe that's what it is, but whatever it was just so amazing. Like, it was just women from across the city in a myriad of businesses and fields, from education, business owners, fitness professionals, elected officials, judges, high court judges, low court judges, state elected officials, city elected officials. It was really a nice, warm room to be in, where it just felt like all the women in the room just kind of understood what's going on for Black women in leadership, or just understand what it means to be a Black woman that has a level of weight on them that may be a little bit larger, right? And I think that that's what a lot of the energy was, because like tears were shed. I cried a couple times, right? Dawn honored so many amazing women for their journey, for the work that they've done for the city of Philadelphia, the way that they supported other women in the space. And I just think that, it got very touching. It was sisterly to the point where it brought a lot of us to tears, right? And, we love an affirmation. That's why we always say we are so excited, because that's how I launch my energy into the episode. And we are affirming it, right? So Dawn was giving the girls affirmations and we are saying it together. And I forgot like what line it was. I don't even remember what line it was. But I try to record a little bit of the affirmation part, so I'm gonna put there, because that was really what got me. But she said one of the last lines was like, let them know that I'm tired, but I'm still here. And every woman in the room was like, like it was like in unison, like sis, I know. But no, it was an incredible event, and it was also amazing for our unabridged family. So definitely be on the lookout for some incredible ladies that are going to be coming and closing out for this last season 1. And then actually starting again in season 2. So that shout out to Dawn, still doing amazing things. Like I said before in the show, she does all the things. And she just kept it going and honored a bunch of ladies along the way. Sorry if I'm speeding through this, because something really big happened that I want to talk about in the fun part. And if you know me, you know what it is. So we're gonna get to that. So I'm not gonna say anything just yet. Okay. All right, now for the official stuff. So we talked about on the official side a couple weeks ago, we talked about the fact that the budget process is starting. And one of the highlights in this budget that we talked about was the fact that Pennsylvania, or Josh Shapiro, was officially starting a conversation around legalizing recreational marijuana for adults over a certain age. Now, we always knew, most of the girls always knew, that weed was going to just bring in the money. We knew it. This is old news. Everybody knows it. We all know it. We all know. Look at liquor, right? I'm pretty sure liquor funds like all the rivers that flow in Pennsylvania. Like something ridiculous like that. Don't quote me. That was probably a lie. But still, right? Like everybody knew. And then all of our surrounding partners are just not only getting their new revenues up, they're getting our money too, because you got people going to New Jersey and all the other places to get their products, when they could be doing that and spending their money right here and funding our schools. So what just happened recently was that a report was released, right? I put in my notes the Mary Jane report. I did not put the actual name of it, but I will put the link to this in the show notes. But it talked about some projections, right? So when Josh's team originally talked about this, they had some really conservative numbers. And honestly, I don't fault them. Most of the time when you want to prove somebody you're right and you want to spin that, I actually learned this from one of my staffers. You give like us a comms thing, right? You start low, so when you beat it, it looks amazing. So Josh knew what he was doing, so they kept those figures very conservative, right? And when I say figures, I mean the money that they thought that we're going to bring in. And because of economists and all people like that who study these things, they were able to actually do a real analysis about how much money marijuana could bring to Pennsylvania. And the girls almost looked at 10% to 15% more than what they thought. So 10 to 15% when you're like talking regular is like, oh, that's not a lot. But when you're talking about millions and billions of dollars, girl, that's a lot. So one of the numbers that they came out with, and this was kind of like the headline, was 41 million in 1 year, right? And that was only the initial year. So we're talking about when we don't even really know how this is going to go, where everybody is learning about it, where people are still buying their shops in Center City and finding out where they can locate things, right? They're thinking that we would make literally $41 million during that time, right? And then over a course of 5 to 6 years, that number would likely go up to around 240 million a year. That's a lot of money. But what the report showed was that actually we could be looking at over $50 million a year in our first iteration of this. And then over the 6 to 7 years, as we actually build out the market, we could be looking at 150 to 155 million in revenue a year. And it's funny because the Republicans said that they're not considering this because a lot of estimates are now saying that our expenses in Pennsylvania are going to be higher than what our projections are looking like for tax and other things that we make money off of as a government, right? So they're like, let's sell weed. You know what that means? The Pennsylvania state government is broke college kids. Right? Like that's who the broke college kids. Everybody know the broke college kids. They all started selling weed because they ain't have no money. Like it's like stripping for books. People were selling weed for books. And that is literally what the Pennsylvania state government is saying. They're like, we gotta find more money. We gotta sell weed now. So right now the report talked about, it looked at the numbers, but it also talked about the fact that we are in a stage now where we just need to figure out. And I'm sorry, y'all. I live in mid-gentrification, and these people are killing me. So forgive me for the background noise. Anyway, they have to figure out how to do it now. And with government, like figuring out how to do things usually takes the longest, and usually where so many things get messed up, right? Like I always say that, like when legislation dies in the departments, because it's not the people that actually write or make the plans for things that are introduce things are not the same people who execute it, right? And granted, we need that. Shout out to checks and balances, but still, like that disconnect sometimes can lead to a lot of issues. So they're looking at two ways, either to do it like liquor and beer, which would honestly be horrible. It'd be horrible, right? That means that only state stores can sell them. Y'all know the wine and spirits, the only place you can get drinks. In New York, you can go to a gas station and get a 30 rack. Missing out on revenue, missing out on avenues, right? And then the other way is some people are just thinking about expanding the program we have right now, where individuals apply for licenses to sell it or to have different levels of what they want to do. So you could apply for a license to be a grower, a seller, a grower only, a whole full service. You can apply for a license just to only be the retail side. So like people are thinking about just expanding that model. So yes, we are on the lookout for what weed is going to do for PA. Maybe make everybody a lot less angsty, Maybe we wouldn't have gone Trump one year if y'all was smoking a little weed. Okay, sorry. It's my birthday one. Let me have some fun. Okay. Well, actually, no, this is my birthday one. That's next episode. All right, and then the last little update we have before we talk about the thing that we're really rushing to talk about. Trump. I know. I'm gonna use my platform to berate him any chance I get, because I know the stakes are high, and there are also other platforms that use their time always to say how amazing he is. So see me as the complete other side of this, right? So shout out to Unabridged for being the Trump haters. So I think what I wanted to talk about was an update. We talked about one of his civil cases, the one that was in New York about, Miss Stormy and the other stripper that he paid off. That civil case is going on right now. So what just happened recently was that the judge in the race gave him this chunky, as he deserves, bail, right? Or whatever. He had this husky bail, right? I think it was like $250 million or something wild like that. Well, because he was like, hey girls, I can't pay it. They're like, okay, just give us a little less than that and we'll be good. What? How many black people do you know have the option to just be like, hey, judge, listen, I know I got this little bit, but I really can't pay this right now. Can we look at lowering this? Like, can we just lower this? Like, it does not make sense to me, the amount of flack they are giving this man. And it irks me because they are just running this campaign like this is regular. They're out here right now interviewing people for VP. And one of these turkeys are thinking about having joined him is DeSantis. What kind of 666 combination are we getting? Y'all know how I get when I talk about Trump. It just makes me so upset. Anyway, I digress. Trump is still up to his foolishness. The courts are still giving him special privilege like we thought he was, just like a white man. And we still are on the watch. And election day is in like 3 weeks for Pennsylvania. So we clearly will know that he's going to become the nominee here, because the girls are Republican all up and through. So, but I'm curious what we'll see in our our primary election is how many Republicans actually do come out to vote for him, right? Because that'll kind of see what we're looking at coming in November. But anyway, he's a mess. Okay, now the thing that I wanted to talk about. This podcast, in addition to being a Trump-hating podcast, is also a Beyonce stan account. Yes, it is. And Beyonce just put out Act 2, Cowboy Carter. And I'm so excited that she did this last Friday so I can still talk about it and it still be relevant and me gush and it be okay. So yes, shout out to Beyonce. First of all, she did it right before my birthday. So I don't think it was for my birthday, but I think she definitely wanted me to have something to be excited about around my birthday. So shout out to her for thinking about the Aries girlies. So I just wanted to give some fun reactions about this. And also, like, I'm going to give this precursor. I don't say anything bad about Beyonce. I don't. I do not. I refuse. I don't want you to say anything bad about her. If you do, I look at you I look at you sideways forever and always. So I'm gonna start this precursor with that because I know people like to be like, "Oh, you're not being biased." No, I'm not being unbiased. She's the best. She's the greatest of all time. She's my fave. She's your fave. So, like, I'm not gonna apologize for loving her the way that I do. Anyway, Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. Now, I think that the thing about Beyonce is that she is not a surface hoe. This is not just about her wanting to wear cowboy hats and her being from Houston. It's not. It is so much deeper than this. This is a movement. This is symbolism at its core, at its greatest essence. Like when I was starting to look more into the album, and you know me, I'm not just gonna listen to the album. I'm watching documentaries. I need to learn more. I'm on TikTok trying to figure out everything I can find. But like so many levels of this, so many avenues of why she chose the songs that she did, the artists that she did. It is so intentional, and that is why she's the greatest of all time. Right? Like her intentionality will be studied. It actually is studied. Shout out to Syracuse. I don't even know, they may still have the course or not, but they definitely did have the Beyonce course at one point. But it's so beautiful, right? Like just some of the top reactions, and then I'm going to go into some of the symbolism, right? So it is very long. It is a very long album. And I think that's why that Chicken Circuit poster that came out that was kind of like releasing the track list, everybody was like, there's no way there's that many songs. Girl, it was. 27 of them. And it took me a minute to actually listen through because like I could put Beyonce on and just kind of zone out, but I really wanted to listen to this album intentionally. So I listened to half, I stopped, and then I listened to the other half, and then I worked out and did all my other stuff and listened to it all the way through, right? Just to kind of see how it flowed together. Beautiful album. Beautiful, right? It's not as, like consistent as Renaissance was, because Renaissance, I listened to that album and looked up and I was 5 songs in. With this one, it gives you a lot more breaks, so I do like that, even though the flow, when it does happen, beautiful. Just chef's kiss. Every transition, every single time, chef's freaking kiss. I am not a country girl. I'm not. I do not apologize for that. I will listen to Beyonce's country music. Daddy Lessons was actually one of my favorite songs from Lemonade. Like you can get into some stuff with Daddy Lessons, but I'm not a major country girly. So unsurprisingly, most of the songs that I loved, like top were the ones that were a little less country sounding, right? Like Spaghetti is my favorite song. Spaghetti, if you want to give me a rapping Beyonce, give it to me 24/7 all the time. Like she raps. She's a rapper. She's probably one of my favorite rappers, okay? And it's not just the one versus my girl. She spits, right? So that is why I love Spaghetti so much. Some of my other favorite ones, Blackbird. I love the Blackbird remake. One of the things that one of our first symbolisms that we're going to talk about is the fact that she chose that song because Paul McCartney had who was the original singer, right? Well, actually, he's the writer of the song. And him and the band, the Beatles, sing it together, right? He wrote that song back then because he was watching what was happening with the civil rights movement. It was going on with little black girls that were desegregating the education system. So instead of saying black girl, he said Blackbird, and literally that's what the song was about. And it was supposed to be like an anthem or like a loving message to black women during the civil rights era. And that's why she had 4 other black girls on the song singing with her. Can we just talk about the intentionality? It's kind of disgusting. Texas Hold'em. I loved Texas Hold'em originally when it first came out. Like, I thought that was like a bop, right? But listening it to an album, which is right after the Willie Nelson intro, amazing. Love it. It's like, it's perfect. Okay, this is the point in the podcast where the devil has won. And I'm tired of fighting with my camera. So that is why now this has turned into a lovely audio. And you can't actually see me like I said in the beginning. Because I'm tired of fighting with my camera and all my technology today. So we're going to move on because we're not going to let it steal our full joy, because we are going to go back to talking about Queen Bee. So as I was saying, Texas Hold'em was amazing. Bodyguard. Now, who else knew she was talking about Julius? Who else felt vindication that maybe she just wasn't following and like getting cheated on by Jay-Z and just being a good girl at home, but she had Julius? Who else got that vindication? Because I sure did. You're not going to tell me that they couldn't have called that song anything else. You could have had Bodyguard with something else. No, they said Bodyguard. And everybody know when you say Beyonce and Bodyguard, you think Julius. So, you never know. It was beautiful though. What else did I love? Jolene. Jolene was a bop, right? I love Jolene. I love the little Dolly Parton introduction. The only thing is that it's not the Jolene I wanted. It's the Jolene I needed. Let me say it again. It's not the Jolene that I wanted, but it was the one that I needed, right? I love a little update. And actually, I think when you look on the song credits, that Dolly Parton actually wrote the revamped one. So shout out to the girls. What else is on here? Oh, and we already talked about Spaghetti. Yes, so it's beautiful, right? Oh, and speaking of Jolene, some other stuff that I found out too. We learned about this at the American Music Awards, that Stevie freaking Wonder was the one who played the harmonica on the background of that. How amazing. So I just feel like there's just so many levels to this, right? When I was reading more about this, apparently the horse that she's been on, I don't know the name of the horse again. It was something crazy. But the key thing that I do remember is that this particular horse starts out black when it's little. And then as it gets older, it turns real white. Like what happened with country music. Come on. Like her having... what's the OG lady's name? I'm sorry, I'm like blanking on it right now. Oh my god, why is it not here? Oh, Linda Martell. I started Googling Miss Martell. I'm just like, yo, there is a whole sect of just like black country culture that I was just not akin to, and now I just have a whole new rabbit hole that I could go down, right? Oh my goodness. And speaking of freaking Linda Martell show, how could I not talk about Yaya? See, I told y'all this episode is so long. You mix things and you forget things and now you're all over the place. But no, it was an amazing album. And of course it broke just every single record that existed in country music and the black girl music on the Amazon list. I have a thingy here. Let me read it. Let me just talk about some of the records my girl was breaking, because she's Beyonce and this is what she does. And I don't know why we're still surprised. But hold up. I'm trying to pull it up. I should have had this ready to go. I told you technology was hating on me today. I don't even understand. Here we go. She actually got, for Cowboy Carter, she earned the biggest streaming day of her whole entire life on March 29th with 87 million streams. That means 87 million people in one day listen to you come talk. The cover, what is this? Oh, sorry. So that also, because of those 76 million streams, it was also the biggest debut of 2024 so far, and likely ever. So yeah. What else? It has one of the biggest country streams for a female artist on Amazon Music in history. It surpassed Renaissance, which is kind of crazy to me, but actually not really, right? Because Renaissance blocked out a lot of people. Renaissance was not here for you. If you were cis white, it was not for you. But you know who this is for? You know who loves some country? Cis whites. So they're going to be all up over this. They're like, yes, Beyonce is back to us. Well, at least the non-racist ones who didn't hate on her for, doing country in the first place. But those white people who love Beyonce are so excited she's doing country music. They are here for it. So that's probably why I got the things. And Renaissance was for the girls. It was really for the girls. So yeah, I'm just in love. I feel like, even though our technology tried to hate on us, I think we got a good synopsis of this. I'm in love with this album. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I also love Sweet Honey and Bucking. The fact that Beyonce was able to just smash 3 songs together that all 3 had different vibes but still somehow went together, freaking genius. I don't even understand. So yeah, I just appreciate Beyonce for giving me an album right before my birthday. Love you, lady. And just keep making music. And for all the girls who are just like, oh no, don't go on a tour again, shut your mouths and speak for yourselves. Because if you're a Beyonce fan, you will find a way. Now we're going to take a quick little break and then get into our oh my god, why did I just blank on that for a second? I got so excited and I forgot. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to get into our unabridged journey for the week.
It's important to be our whole, unedited, unabridged selves whenever possible, being fully authentic with our audience. But what about those moments that we can't be? What if tomorrow you had to sit on a panel, give an interview, deliver a speech, or even go on TV? Would you know what to say and how to say it so that your message is best received? Reach out to Halom Strategies to help your dream become a reality. Halom Strategies is here for your media training or branding needs to help others see you the way that you want to be seen. Reach out to Halom Strategies, that's HALOM, online, on Instagram or LinkedIn. Now, back to Unabridged.
Welcome to the next leg of the unabridged journey. I am so excited. It's honestly it's like the next leg of the journey, but it's actually we took another road because we tried the first road and the first road didn't upload all the way. So now we're trying a second road and we're going to have a beautiful journey today because we decided to use Zoom. So no, I'm super excited because we have 2 amazing people who clearly are not here with me, but they are and doing their own things away. But we're going to have some super fun conversations tonight with our first iteration of a fun series that we're calling The Girls Room. And I'm so excited to be launching it with 2 of my favorite ladies in the world, my Tat Sandwich, Tatyanna Jack and Tatiana Soto. Hi, ladies.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into this. So I met the Tati Sandwich in college. We met each other, both of us, or all 3 of us at different times, each other, all 3 of us together, all throughout our college time. But we really all came together our senior year. And I think that was when we really kind of needed each other the most. And that was when the Petty Tribunal was formed. And we've kind of just been stuck with each other ever since then, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
You can't shake your head on the podcast. You have to say yes.
Audio experience.
We
Yes,
need, yes.
Because people they like you talking to yourself, girl. No, there are other people here. I promise.
An internal dialogue. We need
Right.
to hear you.
No, that's for next week when I have a crazy person episode. But anyway, so for this week, we're going to do some fun questions for the girls' room. And I'm going to try to do this with some ladies in my life, with us together and just chatting about fun things, a little serious things, a little silly things. So we're just going to jump right into it with some good questions. All right. And we should feel a little bit better now. Oh, wait, before I jump in, tell the people who you are. Who are you? I'm terrible. See, I told you the devil is working for this episode. But go ahead. Somebody go.
No, we're taking the scenic route here. It's
Right.
okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll get there.
So who's going first?
I'll go first. So my name is Tatyanna Soto. I'm a lot of things. I'm a friend. I'm a partner. I am a dog mom. I have 4 rambunctious dogs. And in my professional life, I like to call myself an educator, an entrepreneur, and a budding sustainability professional. So more things to come. That's a little bit about me. Oh, and I'm based in Western Massachusetts, even though I'm originally from the Bronx. So there's a little bit of everything of the East Coast in me.
Miss Jack?
Mm.
You
I
nasty.
am I'm Tatyanna Jack, and I am a New Yorker. I'm from Brooklyn. I live in Harlem. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a plant mom to my lovely plant here in my apartment. Um, I love traveling and food and uh, learning something new every day and just yeah. I don't know what else to say.
I think you said a lot. Did we miss anything? Bald baddie, I don't know, like
Not bald baddie. She is though.
I would just put that on there. Like that actually might be my IG name if I was
Should
you.
be one of my monikers. Okay.
Yes.
I'll
Bald
reconsider.
baddie. I like that.
I like
Bald
that.
baddie. With like an H or like two D's. How am I spelling baddie?
It's definitely BHA.
Okay.
Okay. Baddie. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get into these questions. So we're going to play some fun questions from a game that I actually stole from one of our other girlfriends. Shout out to Miss Africa, called We're Not Really Strangers. Right? So, and you're actually supposed to get the questions online and buy the cards, but I just stole them and here we are. Okay.
Borrowed without asking.
I listened for what? It was on Quizlet. That counts. I signed up for the account. So, have you changed your mind about anything lately?
Um, I did, yes. I decided I was not going to fight things that are really without my not within my control. And just, you know, take things on the chin, keep it moving, try not to take it personally.
I like that. Mine is similar. Like I'm choosing my battles. I understand that phrase now, like pick and choose your battles. And baby, there are some that I've put down my armor and I have walked away. And I think you both know this, but for the people who don't, I feel like I've been just very focused on grinding and doing things as I've planned and executing. And now I'm letting go of a little bit of that intensity and just sort of focusing on rejuvenating and the things that
Are
feed me
important.
and heal me. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's kind of definitely that stage where we're just like, I'm out of that grinding. I don't need to grind anymore. I'm here to just like sustain, take care of myself. I'm very much in the sustaining period of my life right now, right? Like this is the last period where I can just take care of all the things before things kind of just get a little crazy. So no, I love that. I love the idea of just like letting go or feeling like you have to do everything. And I know that it's hard when you're Black ladies, Jamaican ladies, daughter of immigrants. It just is hard for us. We think we have to do everything, right? It's just a thing. So I love that. I think something I've changed my mind about lately is probably like what my idea of happiness is and what I kind of feel like I need to be happy right now. I think I thought I needed a lot of different things to be happy, and I've just kind of lived without certain things. And I'm just like I'm actually like pretty good without it, right? Or I'm just a lot more clearer, or I'm actually making space for things that do serve me. So I think I have definitely changed my definition of happiness for sure. Oh yeah. So what was your earliest memory of being happy?
See, I'm gonna change mine. I remember what I said. I'm gonna say something
Like, I'm
different.
not gonna act like we ain't talked about these questions before. Like,
No, but I
yeah.
forgot the earliest part of that question.
Yes,
And so
it's the
I was like, oh,
earliest.
I have another memory, but like it's not earlier than the memory I already stated.
I think I want to change mine too. I think one of my earliest, happiest memories was when I got a karaoke machine. And I used to be in my room because I'm an only child, giving the world performances. Okay. I got up on that bed. That was the stage. And then everybody else was the audience. And I was giving you a show. Okay. I remember one time my mom came home early and she was like, I hear you up there talking about for the folks at home. Like, who are you talking about? She read me, y'all. I was so embarrassed.
Oh my god.
But
I
I love
love
that microphone. I can still picture it. My stage.
that's very on brand.
It
I'm
is.
not surprised.
It really is. Um, okay, I think I'll change mine too. Uh, um, Tati, you can go.
Oh, okay. Um, let's see. Earliest memory of being happy. I've been thinking a lot about my dad for some reason. He's fine, by the way, but I've been thinking a lot about him. And when I was young, he would take me downtown to the ESPN Center. I don't know if y'all remember it, on like 34th, wherever it was. And we would just have the best time. I'd play my games. He'd go to wherever the food was and socialize. Like it felt like I don't know. I just have very fond memories of that, and it just makes me think so fondly of him. And now that I'm an adult and we don't take like weekly excursions to wherever, I'm like, oh, that was nice. Miss that.
Did you guys ever see that? Like, it was like this chart of relationships and the way, like, the different closeness of relationships over time. And it was like the parent line was together. And then as you got older, it like kind of separated. And then it was like college
Mhm.
friends. Like, and then, like it was kind of like a line grab. I'm gonna try to find it and like
Hmm.
put it up there. But it was like a line grab of like how like your relationships in closeness change over time. And like the parent one was like, y'all close all the way up, and then you get to college, and then it was just like slowly just start to separate. And I totally get that. I mean, like, granted, like I live like 15 minutes away from my mom, but like I still, like she still says things like, I miss you, I haven't seen you in so long. I'm like, girl, like talk to my friends' moms, like they live in different states. Like they don't even see each other unless it's a holiday. So no, we see each other a lot. But okay, Tot, Miss Jack, you've had enough time. It's your turn.
Well, I guess in that same vein, it would be a memory of my dad taking me to my first football game. But like it was my sister and I, and we didn't know we were going to a football game. Like my dad was surprising us. I believe it was a Sunday. And I remember wearing like this full green like sweatsuit, which was like totally against the rules because my mom had this thing about girls wearing sweatpants outside. But I was wearing full sweatsuit and sneakers, and we get to the stadium, and my dad's like, "We're going to a Jets game." And I was like, "What?" I just so happened to be wearing the Jets color. I'm a Jets fan, but because my dad's a Jets fan, or at least I thought he was a Jets fan. Um, yeah, we really went because he just wanted to do like something with us, and I can't remember why my brother wasn't there, but it was just such a fun day. Like it was such a fun energy in the stadium, and I'm pretty sure the Jets lost, but that's not me for them.
No, it's not.
It's probably like a
Yeah,
highly likely chance that it was a losing game rather than a winning game. And I don't even
yeah.
football. So what's so funny that you said that about the sweatpants? I think that's definitely a cultural thing. Because I
I was
remember like thinking like I remember starting to wear sweatpants outside and it being like a thing.
Oh,
done.
it was college for me. Yeah,
The moment Tot said it, I was like, tell me you're West Indian without telling me.
But
yeah.
actually,
Seriously,
I was literally
seriously.
like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, I literally thought about that. I was like, yo, I don't even remember. Like, mine might have been high school because I was being a little bit more like, I went to like a real hippie ass school and stuff like that. So, like, I was had a little bit more freedom. But, like, I just remember up until then, though, it was like the girls are wearing what outside? Sweatpants.
Right.
Tight?
Don't even.
Leggings?
Like leggings entering the conversation? Are you joking? Are you joking?
If it
For
was
me,
leggings, it was
yeah.
a pair of pants or a skirt over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were actually
Mm-hmm.
tights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I love that. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It's always so much overlap in these West Indian cultures.
Honestly.
Oh my goodness. What lesson took the longest to unlearn?
I'm gonna keep with my answer on that. And oh my God. Why am I blanking up what my answer was?
I've forgotten everything now.
Oh
Beyond
my
the
God.
first question. It's all gone.
I think mine stays the same because I'm still happily unlearning her.
Is it?
Tom, go first.
Hmm,
Buy us some time.
yeah.
Help.
So I'm unlearning that I can be uncomfortable and that be okay. Like
Mm,
the world is not gonna stop because I'm uncomfortable. People don't have to change their minds because I'm uncomfortable. Like, as an only child, when everything about your world is set by you, programmed by you, made for you, you're just like, of course, when I'm uncomfortable, something has to change. But as an adult, it's like, bro, don't go. Okay, you're uncomfortable. Oh, okay.
It's
Why are
like
you doing this? Right? Like I feel like that's something I'm still unlearning, and it's definitely my only child syndrome. But I always say, at least I recognize it, and I am growing from
mm.
it.
I
Okay, I
remember
want y'all some time.
stated as
I
a
remember when my
problem.
answer is no. Asking for help is not an admission of defeat.
Yes.
Never.
Yep.
Yes. Because yes, for so long it's like, I have to get things done the way that I have it envisioned. If it's not done that way, it's not right. And like so many things can go wrong. And it's just like, no, it's okay to, delegate some things. It's okay to ask, can you have, have a hand in this? Can you help me out? Can you just look this over for me? It doesn't hurt. It's not a sign of weakness, you know.
Mm.
That's that picking that battles thing again.
Yeah. I
Todd.
think along those same lines, I'm actually stealing Dom's from last time. It's like around forgiveness, right? So like we've been grinding so long. I think for me, I've had some ahas of like, oh, snap, I missed some stuff. I can't go back. Like it's done. You focused on what you focused on. And so I'm unlearning being so darn hard on myself. Like, no, you made those choices. That's okay. Now you have reevaluated where your values are, and now you're making decisions based on that. So, like, just the grace, giving yourself grace to be like, oh,
Yeah.
that worked then, doesn't work now.
Yeah. That's
I love that
good.
intentionality too. It's just like I could just decide to be the person that I want to be. Like I could just choose that,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I think that's the freedom that I always want people to feel like, or learn from my guests on the show, right? It's just that we can decide to be the people we want to be. Look at these people who did it, and look at all the dope shit they're doing.
And that you don't have to delay it. I think I always
Mm-hmm.
kind of had like, oh, I'll do it in a year, 2 years, whatever the timeline was. But it was never an immediate like, oh, this is who I am now. Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm closing that gap.
I love that. What questions are you trying to answer in your life right now? I know mine. Where the niggas at? It's like
Oh,
I'm
snap.
joking. I'm sorry, mom. But yeah, no. Seriously, where a good. I know mine is different from last time, but that's the question on my mind today. Like, I'm not looking to date, but I feel like I always think about like when I go back into dating, I'm gonna be very intentional. But like, where do I even start? Like, I was like, maybe I'll get a paid Hinge this time. Like, what? Like,
Mm.
I don't know.
Get a dog and walk it.
I live in North Philly.
Mm.
It doesn't mean anything to you guys, but to my listeners, that I just said a lot. I said a lot. So, I don't know. All right, guys. What about you? Question right now. Trying to answer.
I would say, I think last time I had 3, and one of them is still in my mind. Like, how can I pivot in my current position? Another question would be, what's the next chapter gonna look like?
Mm.
Yeah, I would say those are the big 2 that have been on my mind.
I
You know
like
what's
that.
something I stole from Soto actually? You said this like so long ago to me and it's always stuck in my head. You were like, I never thought that I would be here 5 years ago, so I can't wait to see where I am 5 years from now. And
Aw.
I always thought that that was so.
Mm.
I tell it to my interns. Like I use that over and over again because I just thought that was so profound, and that just like attests to either just leaning into what the universe is going to give you and being prepared for it, but then also just like getting excited about what your future could be because you can't even really picture where you could be at. So it's always stuck in my head. I don't even remember when you said that to me, but like you said that one time, and I was like, damn. Okay, Buddha.
Not Buddha. I love that.
Booby.
I actually think I remember when I said that. It had to have been in college, as I was reflecting on high school and all that stuff. And I think it came from a place of like, we are truly our ancestors' wildest dreams. Like we are. And I was thinking of the fact that my 2 maternal grandmothers are not here. And if I were to get the chance to have a conversation with them, they would be blown away at the things I've been able to do. So I think that was that perspective as I'm along those same lines, as I'm thinking about questions that are lingering, they're all like, how do I create more authentically? How do I sustain myself more in line with my values because of what you just said, Dom? Like, it does not matter what I dream of for the next 5 years. I know it will be significantly better. And it doesn't stop me from dreaming. It actually makes things really limitless. So thank you.
That's why I
Thanks.
hate when people in politics and they always ask me this question like, so where do you want to do? Like where do you see yourself? Girl, I don't know. I'll be like, I'm trying to get to next week. If I can get my routines all done 7 days straight, that's a win. Like that's what I'm focused on right now. So like I love that. And also like it's something about like setting a straight goal or path that makes me kind of feel a little caged. It's very
Yeah,
much like, oh, so now that I've decided that this is the thing, that nothing else is the thing, I just
yeah,
kind of
it's like I
want to
can't
collect
deviate.
things. I just want to be like, oh, I do this. Oh, we have this. Oh, maybe this too. Like I want that to be the energy and not just like, this is what I do. That's it.
But you know what, Dom? I think there's a fallacy in thinking that you can set one goal and that it's going to be a straight path to it. Like that's not how life works. And I'm glad we
No,
have
it's not
the
going to be
perspective.
linear at all. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's actually why I stopped planning in like 5 to 10 years ahead. And now I'll do like 6 months, 90 days, a month, a week. Because looking out that far just it doesn't hit the right way anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Like
At
even for
most,
this
I'll
year,
do
like
like
I did.
3 months, but I can't go past that because it's just like, I don't know. I honestly don't know what's in store.
No, I agree. Like even this year, usually I'm very like intentional at the top of the year and I set my goals for the year. I was like, I just want to set my goals until fucking February. Like what can I get done in the first 2 months, girl? Like
Mm-hmm.
because that just long list of things I felt like that I had for even just last year, especially with us turning 30, I put a lot of weight on myself. I was like, I gotta get this done and this done and this done. And I think that kind of contributed to a lot of the mental health stuff that I was dealing with. And that's why I'm just like, I'm just gonna take it easy, set some
Mm-hmm.
very like checkable goals off and see where it gets
Mm-hmm.
me. So no, I love that. So this is the last fun, this is like the last like fun deep one. What title would you give this chapter of your life right now?
Oh boy. That we have some Beyonce inspiration. I feel like I gotta look at the track list again. Give me a
Mm-hmm. Mm.
wait, hold on. You said next chapter or the current chapter?
What is the what title would you give this chapter of your life right now?
Oh boy. Oh, um,
Limbo.
Shit, that could have been on the
Um,
Beyonce track list.
it should have
honestly,
been.
I would call this limbo. I would call this limbo, this chapter. I'd call the next chapter the pivot, and this chapter is definitely limbo.
This chapter is like foundations. Like, you
Mm.
know how like in yoga you got to start with foundations before you build to the actual like sequences. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
think this was. This was like there was some ups, there were some downs, but it's gonna be what I lay the rest of the wonderful things that come on.
Hmm.
Oh, I love that.
See, I call it limbo because I feel like it's a waiting period. Like, I'm not quite out for the count, but I haven't ascended yet. It's still just kind of figuring it out. Um, and that's why the next chapter I guess would be called Pivot, because that's what it would become.
Pivot dot 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 the ascension.
What is it? Ellipses, it's gonna be okay.
Let's be okay.
It's gonna be fine. I think my title is Girl, we're working on it.
Girl.
Girl, we're working on it. What about Girl, we're working on it? That this is this chapter right now. Oh my goodness. But I do love that. I love that so much. I love both your titles, the foundation and the pivot. This sounds like the one long black girl self-help book. That's what it sounds like.
We got to get to writing.
I'm ready. Write your lessons down now. You should be journaling heavy so when we can look back at things, we can know. You know when I get mad at myself? Like, I feel like I didn't journal enough through the pandemic because I could have wrote the movie rights. I'm ready to write the rights, girl, and I need more on-screen dialogue.
I journaled, but it wasn't of anything like specific, like to the days, I would say. It was more
Right.
so like I had this icebreaker kit of cards and I created a journal just answering each of the questions with myself.
Oh, I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do
Share
love
that.
that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I just felt like I would be like, today sucked. I was inside and I
Today.
worked and I ate and I worked more. Like that's all my journal would say. It wasn't like, on the 10th day of November, Trump decided to tell people to eat bleach. Like, no, it's none of that. Like, it's just
Wow, you just gave me a straight flashback.
Seriously. Oh my God, the level of fatigue that was felt during that time. There were so many days I was just like laying in bed and I'm just like, oh my God, this can't be like reality. This cannot be every day.
I wish I would have been one of those people who was like, I'm going to travel the country in my van, or like, I'm going to go live in Thailand for
Um,
6 months. I wish I would have seen it. This is back to like being in the grind. I wish I would have had the foresight to be like, no, girl, go. Like,
go, yeah.
never happen
Seize the
again.
opportunity. Yeah.
that's
Honestly, because it was a I don't want to say it was a great time to go because,
No.
but it
Window.
would have been, yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd have been perfect, honestly.
To get the freak out, to get
Hmm.
right out. All right, now we're going to pivot, ladies, to our next set, which is actually the fun ones. And these might change now because these things change all the time. What are you binging right now?
Oh, great question. I don't remember all of what I said last time. mm,
Literally watched in the last week.
Shogun.
Oh, on FX.
Hmm.
Is it good?
Yeah, I like
I'm
it a
debating if
lot.
I should watch it. It's like they're like politics and sex and dialogue. Like it's the best thing you want to see or something like that when I on the
It's like
Hulu ads.
feudal Japan and the Portuguese, and yeah, it's good.
Oh,
Good. That's a family drama. It's a little bit Game of Thronesy because there are different houses, like the different, oh my God, I forget what they're called, but like the heads of their territories and their council, and yeah, there's different families and lineage drama and stuff like that, like the crazy emperor that someone's father killed, and yeah, it's I like it.
It sounds Game
But
of Thrones. It sounds what's our other girlie that you got me watching? Downton Abbey. Like it's giving me a lot of that.
the girl
could
in
be because the Portuguese people all have an English accent for the most part, or are English. So yeah, but
Mm.
it's good. I like it. Shogun's good. I've been rewatching New Girl, which I always enjoy. And
One thing I cannot get down with.
But Prince is in
um,
it at the end.
mhm.
He liked it.
It's honestly, you're not watching for Jeff, you're watching for the guys. Like
I
it's just
know, but I
the
just like
exploration of male friendship and how they all kind of grow up with one another in adulthood, basically.
maybe I just can't get past Deschanel. She just irks me sometimes. Hi
Yeah,
guys, I'm
she's
cute.
annoying.
It's like so annoying. Like,
You know, she can be
uh,
annoying, but like it's the guys for sure. Like each of them have their own quirk and their own like charming personality trait that just like hooks you. And their dynamic just works so well.
well, it's
Yeah.
on the Hulu. It's on Netflix now. Maybe I'll try it at some point.
It's on both. On
Mm,
both.
damn, they
Yeah.
making money. What
I know
about you?
it's too dumb.
Right, it's all over the place.
What have I been watching? Y'all, I've been watching a lot of streamers talk about Diddy. That's that's what I've been plugged into. I don't know why I said it like that,
Yo,
but
I hate you so much for that. Like, I cannot.
and I've been reading. I've been binging on books. I'm reading The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss because you got to balance out the ratchet, and that's where my brain has been.
The Diddy thing is a rabbit hole, girl, because it's just like you don't even know which string you want to pull. Do you want to pull the Justin Bieber? Do you want to pull the producer? Do you want to pull a Cassie? Do you want to? I can't.
Halo.
Yo, where the freak is making the band chicks at? Where are they? Where is Babs? Where is Dylon?
This is a
Like,
saga. It's a novella. Okay, that's what this has become. So
what
I've
about
been.
Danity Kane? Like, where is Aubrey, dog? Like, come
Well,
on.
Aubrey was tweeting, I believe, when the whole Cassie suit was in the headlines. She was trying to, get more people engaged in that conversation. I do remember
And
that.
she didn't sign
And
the NDA to get her music rights back. Because
mhm.
remember when Diddy was giving out people's whatever credits or whatever they're called, um, she was very anti-signing so that she wouldn't be bound by an NDA. So there's tea here for the age.
There is. Isn't there, what's her name? Is it Dawn? Dawn was part of Danity Kane.
Hey,
Yeah.
Doesn't she have a suit, a libel suit or a defamation suit against what's his name? The Simmons brother, the one who's
Russell
hiding
Simmons?
out in Bali.
Russell
I guess
Simmons?
Russell Simmons?
Yeah, didn't he finally get served in Bali?
Yeah,
Like
he
they
did get
finally
Yes, he
served,
ready to
right?
did.
release
And
him.
oh,
Yeah,
it
and
was
I think
about
it's
her.
done. Yeah, I think she's going behind the suit. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that because they actually talked about that on the read last week that somebody
Mm-hmm.
actually got into his little circle or whatever and was able to serve him.
They went to his resort. He
Yeah,
has like a little
Mm-hmm.
resort.
all of them. Just get them all. You know what I think about like early Potomac episodes where with Katie in it and Katie dated Russell Simmons. You remember Katie,
Okay.
the crazy woman, the model? She was only like the first two episodes of Potomac. I remember the
I
one
didn't
season.
watch the first season of Potomac.
Okay, the second season she came. I think it was like second or third. She came back and she was kind of crazy. And she took him to a farm. You remember that? Well,
He was on the show?
Katie's like a model. Yeah, she was like a model at the time, and she dated Russell Simmons and like moved into his house, got stuck in the house because she didn't have nowhere else to live, and he was bringing chicks back home and would be like, "Why are you still here?" And she like wrote this blog about it. I'm surprised you don't remember this because this is the blog that Giselle read in the car when they were on their ratchet road trip, like one of the first episodes. Me and Al talk about this all the time. And Giselle is petty because she basically is like, they're in a car full of the girl, and she's just like, and then he came home and asked me to leave. Oh, girl,
Play my
yes, reading it out loud to everybody. That's like one of Giselle's original petty moments when she read that blog out
Oh
loud.
my gosh.
Listen. Mm. And speaking of Potomac, that's what I've been binging
I was
lately.
gonna say,
I
clearly
know
you've been
y'all
binging.
not. Well, I'm like not a binger. I actually keep up with Potomac because you know me, I get attached to characters. So even people like, oh, it's so boring. I'm like, I need to know what these bitches are doing. So I have been watching it, and Tati, y'all gotta watch the last two episodes. I don't care if you watch anything else. The last two episodes are some of the most tea spillingest thing I've ever seen. Mia Thornton, like she made me like the sluttiest goat of all time. Like I love her. Like she is the greatest. She's so terrible that I love her. Like I've never
That's
in
a
my
lot.
life like I just love her. She just be like, "Yeah, Gordon, I did that." So
I saw the clip of her. Who was she? She had her boyfriend on the phone and he was saying hi to Gordon. I was like, what is this casual nature between you two? What is happening? I
this
mean, but I'm
Andy,
also out of the loop because I haven't been like I'm maybe like 5, 6 episodes behind. I saw clips from the reunion and I'm like, do I just start with the reunion or
no,
pick up
watch
where I
the
left off?
last two episodes. The last two episodes is all that matter. Everything else before that is like whatever. It's like background shit. Candace mad at Ashley, Ashley's mad at Candace, same old storylines. But when you get to the last two episodes, powder cake. Powder cake. Yes.
Okay.
It's so good. And then it goes into, and I watched the first episode of the reunion.
I saw clips from the reunion. It looked spicy. That it did. All right, it's on the list.
I gotta get it to it. Potomac. Michelle Obama said it's her favorite, so I'm not giving it up. Okay. What are you shamelessly spending money on these days?
Oh, since our last conversation, vitamins. Okay, y'all, I have upped my vitamin supply. I've even gotten the dog's vitamins. It's over. We are
Wow.
vitamined up here. Okay,
Proud of you.
boom.
Which vitamins did you get?
So for me, I got some more fish oil. I got vitamin D3. And then for
Mm-hmm.
the pups, I found this brand called Native. Anyway, not a plug, but they make like good dog food. They have like a powder that turns into a bone broth for the dogs. And then I got them
Mm-hmm.
like some vitamin D oil that we can put in their food. Y'all, it's over.
Nice.
Handling this.
I
You're
love
gonna
me some
get
vitamins.
Shamelessly buying. I honestly, I'm gonna stick with. It's not coffees. If I'm being realistic, it's just food. I have been treating myself to whatever I want. Like I'm not even gonna lie. If I don't want to cook, I'm not cooking. I'm ordering food for lunch at work every day. I order food. I get something. I find a new place or I revisit a place and just get a different menu item. It's like I'm eating my way through the West Village. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
What's the restaurant you keep ordering from?
Via Carota, I would say, because they have this really good white bean soup. And then there's like a sandwich of the month that they do. And the last one was a braised short rib, and it's so good.
Okay. Ty eating. I mean, I'm not
I'm
surprised.
eating. Yeah,
Hello.
I was like, I want
Consistently.
to enjoy food. I enjoy food. So I was like, I want to try the restaurants around here. And I mean, try to keep it like within reason, but yeah,
You're gonna
just,
eat.
yeah, but it also like brings me joy. Like my day to day can be so mundane, and like to take a break from being in that space, like going out for lunch and just having a moment alone, listening to a podcast, doing a crossword, eating just a lovely plate of food. It's nice. I like it.
It's definitely like one of those dopamine things, right? It's just like buying food, especially when you're at
Mm-hmm.
work. Especially when
Mm-hmm.
you like break up the mundane. It's like, what can I get? Even though I eat the same thing every day, so it's not good. What am I buying right now? What am I buying right now? I'm not buying much right now because I'm kind of broke. But when I did have money recently, I was buying clothes for some of my stuff I have coming up. So I haven't really gone
Mm.
shopping like that. Like probably I haven't really gone shopping like this probably since like last November, like clothes shopping for myself. So I just started like getting some pieces because I'm going to Atlanta at the end of the month. And I had my little ladies brunching that I talked about in a previous segment. So I had to get like a suit for it. I got like wear all pink suit. It was really cute. So I'm buying clothes, which is kind of like, I gotta get back into that.
I love that, Dom. Send pictures. You talking just now just reminded me of one of my other happy memories. Do you remember before I moved to Houston how we went shopping for my teacher clothes?
Yes. I've never shopped like that again.
That was a while.
We literally just went in TJ Maxx and ran them down. We just ran them down. Like it was just I've never shopped like that.
And never
There's so
again.
many
Last
deals.
time. That was the last time I went shopping like that. We took everything. It was great.
Oh my
Yeah, that was
God.
like right. That was like right. That was like our college limbo. Like I wasn't in Vietnam yet. You weren't in Houston yet. Yeah, that was definitely a
Mm.
time for the real world hit. Um, open your phone. What was the last song you played?
Yeah, yeah.
I already know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, no. It was Bodyguard.
The
Oh,
Julius song.
Um, it was definitely from the same album. But I don't think it was. I want to say it was My Rose, but I think it was. No, I think it had to be one of the Smoke Hours with Willie Nelson. Yeah, I think that's one of the last songs I played.
I'm actually kind of embarrassed because my last song actually wasn't Beyonce, but right before that was Beyonce. But I'm also addicted to another song, "Yeah Glow" by Glorilla.
yeah,
Yeah, go.
And you do not know how many times I say throughout the day, "Stomp a little pussy hole with some shell toe."
Curbing and curbing.
Curbing on curbing, my is layered. Yeah, Glow.
Oh my God.
What? That
I
song? I
was
listen
just,
to that when I
I was
work
telling
out.
Kelly today. I was telling Kelly today, I was like, I feel bad that I have to listen to it in a while because that's really a song of affirmation, honestly.
It's so motivating. Like it's so motivating. I love her now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to become more of a fan of Glorilla.
I
I
like
loved her since FNF.
that's nice.
F-R-E-E.
Cause like I liked her songs, but like I wouldn't go back and like, oh, let me go listen to a Glorilla album. Now I'm like, let me go back and like let me listen to some other stuff that's just like not out right now because I actually
Mm.
like her. She gives me all the things I want. Like, especially with female rappers, her voice isn't annoying, which is so
Mm-hmm.
hard to find with female rappers sometimes. Like, I mean, it's hard to find with male rappers too. But like when female rappers have good voices, like Meg, uh, amazing. What was the last movie you watched?
Poor
Oh,
Things.
Poor Things.
oh, was it good?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
good.
loved it. That was really
With
good. Yes.
with
Emma Stone,
Emma
Mark
Stone. Yeah,
Ruffalo,
Oh, the one that she won the Emmy
Rami
for?
Youssef.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oscar.
The
Oh,
Oscar.
Oscar, right?
Oscar.
That's on my
Mm-hmm.
list.
It's good. It's on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
Yeah, I
good.
keep
It's
seeing
really
it when I
like,
suggest it.
it's just like Frankenstein. She's a reanimated woman and she goes on this whole journey, and it's a beautiful journey to watch, just to see her come into her own.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. That I
it's
like.
really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And the
gonna add that.
costume, it's visually stunning. I will say that. Like, yeah, it was
It's
beautifully
like a
done.
period piece, right? It's like
Um,
costuming in that way.
it's
No?
it's costuming, yes. I could not tell you what, like, actually I could tell you what period that would be, because it would probably be around like the like 1800s, possibly, based on what the doctors were wearing. I want to say it's probably the 1800s.
It's on the
I
list.
want to say,
It's definitely on the list now. Yeah,
but
no,
it's
good.
very, like, it has such fantastical costuming, and it's
Oh,
this
William Dafoe
playful
is in
use.
here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
love him.
I love him.
really good.
Who else is in
But
this
yeah,
thing? Oh, Jared
um,
Carmichael is in here.
yes.
I didn't realize he was. Okay.
Olivia
Mm-hmm.
Colman. I love that. That is the British Meryl Streep.
That is. Oh, and Jared Carmichael is about to come out with like a reality show or something like that.
It's
It's
out.
out.
It's on
It's out.
HBO. We watched
It's
an
on
episode.
HBO.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm not
I'm
gonna lie, part of it is a little cringe, because it's like, stop, stop, stop. But you have to watch it to understand what I'm
TMI.
talking about.
Okay. All right.
He
Okay.
is a little cringe too. Like when I watched his stand up with him coming out,
Yeah.
I was just like,
Okay.
okay,
Hmm.
this is not what I
This one is more like, and he says it, like he's trying to do more of a Truman Show, uh, like aesthetic, I guess, with this, or a Truman Show take with his show. So
listen, he better get it together because HBO gives the girls 2 seasons and then they're out.
Make it work or not.
Look
no,
at rap
I
shit.
think this will definitely work for him, because it's gonna ruffle some feathers. So
Oh, I need to
you'll
watch
see.
this.
You'll
The way
see.
you're saying this, I'm about
Right?
to
It's
put
making
this
me be
on
like, I need
right
to watch
now.
this.
I think it's just because of the way that, like, Kelly and I were watching it, and the point that he's stressing, or the point that's stressing him in that first episode, is with a celebrity figure, a rap figure. And it plays out because
The
it's
Drake.
like, no, no.
All right, I'm not gonna keep guessing.
He,
I'm not.
yeah, I
I
just,
want to. I
just,
want to,
just
but
go
like,
I
watch.
was gonna
Yeah.
keep guessing, but okay, we won't. Okay.
all right,
Oh,
no more.
you want to,
Okay,
okay, you have another guess if you want.
Meek Mill.
No.
not me.
Meek?
All right.
No? Okay.
Don't let the Philly podcast fool you. I don't care. Oh, my
I
mom
mean,
might.
I
She
was
might be
gonna,
a little mad. Oh my god. Soto, what was the last movie you watched?
I think it wasn't a movie. It was like the series, the Nickelodeon expose that they
oh,
Oh,
yeah, about
Quiet on
Dan
Set.
Schneider.
quiet on
Yes,
set.
Quiet on Set. With
I had to
D.H.
turn
Schneider.
that
What's his
off.
name?
Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
I
The
had
crazy
to.
thing is, like, Dan did the wild stuff, but like, he's not even one of the pedophiles, which is the crazy part about it. There are 3
But,
additional pedophiles outside of Dan Snyder's foolishness.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But there was also those claims that Amanda Bynes had back in like, what was it, 2013 or
But they don't talk about it though in
2014,
there. They don't
where
talk about
she
him
had
getting
an
her pregnant.
abortion for her
Mhm.
boss? Like, how are we not talking statutory rape? Like, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah, I did not watch it all the way through because two persisting thoughts kept coming up. One, poor Amanda Bynes. I mean, all of the children affected, but
All of them,
especially
yes.
Amanda Bynes, because I feel like we saw her life
Mm-hmm.
sort of disintegrate in front of our eyes without any
Mm-hmm.
context. And everyone, the media, not everyone, the media portrayed her as just like, she just blew up her life as if it were
Mm-hmm.
just her.
And there
And
was so much more.
there was so much more.
It
And
was
then
so
two,
layered, yeah.
the second thing I just kept thinking about was like, they were trying to program us. Like, especially our generation, look at all the things they slipped in there. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they were trying to hypersexual. I don't know. It's very nefarious. Like, it just becomes bigger and bigger the more I think about it. Like, all the kids
Yeah.
grew up watching it and how they think about their own sexualities and da da da. It became too much, so I turned it off. It got too
It's a
real.
lot. It is very deep. It made me feel type of way too because I wanted to be on all that more than anything in the world. And so like
Girl.
that's why like I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm happy I didn't get
Like
like because that's crazy.
Zoe 101. I was like,
My
I
dream.
love that school.
It is why I applied to boarding school. Y'all, this show was critical to my childhood.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That it hurt. I think it just mainly hurt. I felt
Yeah.
like we were all a part of that cultural moment. And now,
Absolutely. There's a grieving process taking place with a lot of our childhood, like networks and shows and people, like the people that we grew up seeing that we just,
Like I can't ever look at Drake the same ever again. Not Drake like the rapper Drake, but
oh,
Drake from Drake and
Belle.
Josh, Drake Bell. Poor Drake
oh,
Bell. That
yeah.
white boy. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
feel bad
And
for him.
his dad. Oh,
His dad. I cried with that part with his dad. Like it was not good. Like, and just like a quick thing,
Mhm.
this doesn't really want to ruin it, but Drake's dad, his dad saw the pedophilia and was like, I'm protecting my son. And because he did that, the producers worked their way to the mama to split the dad up and lie on the dad and say he was stealing money from Drake. So the mom kicked him away. And as soon as she kicked him away, he went right into the hands of the pedophile. And the dad is like, I knew, and if I would have known then, like his dad was in tears, yo. That shit got me, yo. Oh my god, it was bad. It was so bad. Oh my goodness.
sorry, I ended it heavy. Give us another question.
No, I let me. The last movie I watched was. I definitely watched a movie recently too. I'm mad I'm blanking on this. What's the last movie I watched? On Netflix. Okay, well, this isn't a movie, but this I watched a documentary literally called "The Power of Movies" on HBO Max, and it's like what is it? It's like narrated by this like British film teacher or whatever, and he goes through like these different levels and themes of movies, and like the first episode is about all of the consistent patterns you see across movies, no matter what, or how all of our memorable
Mhm.
and classic movies all have similar characteristics, and then he like actually like breaks down and they put the actual movie clips that he's talking about in the documentary, so you're basically like watching like 100 amazing movies while he's talking about it. So I'm definitely going to finish watching that tonight. So I think,
Mm.
yeah, because I can't think of another actual movie I watched.
Outside of Poor Things, it was probably Dune 2, and I have to say I was disappointed.
Yeah,
The Thing too.
Dune.
Dune
Oh, Dune
2,
too. Oh. I
I
never seen
loved
one.
the first one so much. I watched it a few times. The second one, I feel like it was
What was
just
missing?
there was too many things happening, and I feel like a lot of a lot of stories felt a little rushed. Some of the um casting felt odd. Like it just felt like they just wanted this name because it has recognition right now. not because they would actually do this role like the justice that the book would deserve. Like, at least in my opinion, I feel like there was just too many things happening. Costume was great, but yeah, cinematography too. Good, but yeah.
I have like no desire to see Dune either one. It's like it's a movie about a bunch of sand and people in a bunch of sand.
Accurate.
Well, I
Yes.
believe it has like a historical reference to like ancient groups that lived in like Jordan in the Middle East and stuff.
Mm,
I have to find the article and I'll send it to you, but it does have some like uh historical references.
interesting. Well, my last question, because this is going to be a very long episode. Y'all actually might be longer than Africa's episode. Um, so I asked all my guests this to close us out. What does it mean for you to be truly unabridged, to be completely whole and unedited?
Uh,
For me, I am thinking through what it means to make life choices, being mindful of consequences, but not fearing them. It means moving in lightness, I think is what I'm sort of pulling from that. Just without the weight of all the things that we've been carrying over the last few years. Yeah.
mm.
Jack?
I would say it uh, embracing what makes you you, embracing your quirks, embracing just what sets you apart from everyone else. I feel like so often, so many people strive to be someone else or be like someone else, and really comparison is the thief of joy. So why
Mm.
strive to be anyone other than who you are? I feel like that's the most radical form of self-love and freedom all wrapped up in one. So yeah, embracing you.
Mm. I love that.
Me too. Ladies, I thank you again for not just giving me one day, but 2 days of your time for this episode. It means so much to me.
Anytime.
Like, this is
Always.
amazing. I hope that people enjoyed our lovely little conversation. Always full of little nuggets of wisdom and goofiness. So that's all I really wanted for this April month and for the girls' room, especially for the intro episode. So thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode of Unabridged. We will see you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. I love you.
Love you, Dom.
And that has been Unabridged. Thank you so much for joining the journey. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you listen or watch the show. Also, check out our website. That's unabrdgpodcast.com. We'll see you in 2 weeks.